Hello, everybody. You've tuned into the Indiana State Police Roadshow, brought to you by the Indiana State Police Alliance. Cops for Kids, a subsidiary of the Indiana State Police Alliance. Tom Trial, a man behind the scene. Tom, wave to the camera. There you go. Good job, Tom. Puts us on ISP YouTube each and every week, so you can go to the ISP YouTube site and catch our show each and every week. Got some guests that's been with me here before. Captain Dave BURSTEN, Indiana State Police Public Information Office.
Thanks for having me here, Rich.
Appreciate you being in here again, Captain. Thanks for coming in. CAROLYN Dudley, the best looking of this whole group in here.
Agreed.
Good morning, Rich.
Good morning, CAROLYN. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
I'm sorry to bring you back to this weather of Indiana. I understand you were down in Florida in 85 degrees when you left, and when you landed, it said it was, what, 47?
47. But that's all right. Happy to be back in Indiana.
Yeah, good. Glad to have you back here. Bob GETCHELL. Bob, thanks for coming in.
Good morning, Rich. How are you
Bob
doing?
is the no, I wrote it down here and I can't read my writing.
Manager, operations support.
Manager of Operations, Church Brothers.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for being in here again, Bob.
Good to be here.
And what we're going to be talking about today is the upcoming Church Brothers ISP Roadshow, right, Dave?
Yeah, well, it's not the road show, it's the car show.
Car show.
That's why I'm here, to
I
keep
got
a close
show in
eye
here.
on you.
Exactly. You got to keep me going, man. So I'm like CAROLYN. I'm operating on 4 hours sleep.
This will be last year's show. This is the only bad thing I'm going to say. Last year's show got rained out.
Yeah.
This year's show, we're not going to be rained out.
No.
And the Church Brothers puts us on each year. The first year it was done for Wounded Warriors. The second year they did it for Gary Dudley for his Memorial Foundation.
Right.
Gary was killed in the line of duty on August 22nd, 2006. And this money that's raised from this goes to his foundation. And CAROLYN will talk more about that in a little bit. But we are so grateful to Bob, to Dan and Rhonda Hall, the owners of Church Brothers,
right.
that made this decision to have the car show each and every year in honor of Gary Dudley. And it's a fantastic show. If you like classic cars, if you like newer cars that are just sharp looking, he's got the whole gamut. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and I've heard nothing but good comments and from this show, just from participants, from the online stuff after it happens, and the work that goes into this behind the scenes is amazing on what they do and how they do it and what the time that's put into this. But when and where are we looking at about the show?
The show is going to be June 17th, which is a Saturday, so coming up pretty rapidly. I'm going to let Bob talk about the details about when it starts, but I'll share with you that aside from when it comes in and how long it goes, there's lots of things to do besides the looking at the cars. But there will be a lot of state police displays there, from motorcycles to our bomb units. We will have things for the young kids to look at. So there's lots of things to do.
Well, Bob, let's talk about that. I know you've been involved each and every year that this has happened. Has it grown?
It has grown. The first year, I think we had 170 cars, give or take.
Okay.
We have the capability of handling 350 cars. Fingers crossed. We anticipate around 200 cars. That's typically what it is.
And this is going to be held at your location there on Shadeland Avenue.
It is 751 North Shadeland. It's a nice location.
Easy access in and out.
Easy access, well set up. And at 7 in the morning to 3 in the afternoon. You need to be there by 11 if you're going to have your car judged. Otherwise, we won't judge you. But you are more than welcome to come and hang out because it's a really, really fun time.
Now, 7 in the morning they can come sign up. Do they have to pre-sign up? Is that available? Or?
That is available. It's not a requirement. We would highly recommend it. There's actually a free commemorative T-shirt for signing up online at www.church-brothers.com. And if you do that, you'll get a commemorative T-shirt. There are also T-shirts there for sale. And they have become quite the hot item, so it's going to be a really fun event.
So this will be the third year, or actually the fourth year. The last year was rained out, and no show was held, correct?
Yeah, the fourth year for the show, third year that money's raised to go to the Gary Dudley Memorial Scholarship Foundation.
Okay.
And on that note, and Bob was being very humble, and what Church Brothers does, it's $20 to register the car, as I recall.
Correct.
They take all the money that is raised, and there have been corporate donations. Church Brothers matches dollar for dollar Plus, they have taken on all the expenses to put the show on. So this raises a substantial amount of money for the Gary Dudley Memorial Scholarship Foundation.
And Carolyn, let's talk a little bit about that. Where does this money go? And what is it utilized for? And tell us a little background about how it was started.
Okay. Shortly after Gary died in August 22nd of 2006, several of us, including David and several friends of his and coworkers, and I got together and tried to think of a way to continue to honor him, but also continue his mission of helping the families of fallen officers, but especially the children.
Right.
And so we set up his scholarship foundation, and through that we award scholarships to the children of Indiana's fallen officers from any agency, anywhere in the state of Indiana, any agency. And we will help them a total of up to 8 semesters. And with this year's scholarships will be well over $200,000 that we've awarded in the last 10.5 years.
That's wonderful.
Thank you.
Now, if anybody's interested in finding out how to apply for a scholarship, where would they find that information?
Actually, the easiest way is to contact me directly. Email would be bikecentury, BIKECENTURY, at Comcast.net. They can also find it out through the Indiana State Police Alliance, who helps administer all of our foundation needs.
Okay. And this is for in-state colleges anywhere in the United States? Or how
It
does
can
that
be
work?
anywhere. It can be for college or a trade school. So if
Okay.
they're going to, like
To learn to weld or something.
Exactly. So any furthering their education past high school, we will help them up to 8 semesters with their college expenses. And it can be anywhere in the country, anywhere that makes up, the scholarships coming in. So
That's
yeah.
wonderful. And I know, like you said, Gary was a big supporter of this. And Dave, you were very, very close to Gary. Well, at his wedding.
Yeah, Gary was best man at my wedding for myself and Beatrice, and we were very good friends. And he was
How
just,
important is this to carry on that legacy and keep that going?
it's very important. I mean, for those of us that knew Gary, and there's roughly 700 people on the state police that worked with Gary as they came on the department, since he was commander of the training division and of the academy, rather commander of the academy. So those that know him know what a good person he was, highly ethical, very much supporting the mission of people that are killed in the line of duty and supporting their families. And to add on to what Carolyn said, a lot of people may or may not know that if a police officer is killed in the state of Indiana, they can go to a state school and their tuition is covered. But there's so many expenses beyond the tuition that aren't covered. And if you want to go to a school outside of the state of Indiana, that's why this scholarship is so very important and so helpful for them. And it covers city, county, state, federal law enforcement officers as well. If you're an FBI agent and you're based out of the Indiana office and you're somewhere out of country or out of state and you're killed in the line of duty, your children can benefit from this scholarship program.
That's wonderful to hear and how that's happening. Bob, back to you. Tell us a little bit about the show. What can be brought in? What can't be brought in? Are we talking motorcycles, everything, or what are you guys asking for?
Although we get some visiting motorcycles, it's limited to pretty much any kind of hot rod, street rod, including late model cars. It's astounding how creative these people can be. So you'll see anything from the 20s through late model cars, and like I said, it is absolutely a good show. We get top-notch vehicles, and very, very pleased to see all the vehicles that come.
How many classes do you have? What for the judging?
Oh, I knew you were going to ask me that. There's a top 40 for the top 40 cars. There's a People's Choice. I think there's a DJ's Choice, and so that falls on Joe Stasiak, who, by the way, since I know nobody's listening to this, he's a good guy. He's contributed a lot. He helped us stuff goodie bags. I mean, he's fantastic. First 200 people get a really nice giveaway bucket with all kinds of detailing equipment. Okay. The plaques and trophies have been highly coveted from everything I've heard from the folks who've been. And the music, by the way, just absolutely. DJ
great. Donna
absolutely sets the mood for the whole show. It's a lot of fun. And then you have obviously the state police and dog biting
Yeah.
We have a volunteer there, the owner of the company, I think volunteers to
Cool.
have himself at least attempted to be.
Is that voted on by the workers of the company?
It would be a unanimous decision if we had to. No, he's a really good guy.
Yeah, Rhonda
He and
pushes him
Rhonda.
right out
Yeah,
front
Rhonda
there,
pushes him
so-
out there.
And if you have the bite sleeve or don't have it, we're going to go ahead and do it, right? So, and I know in past car shows I've been to, these folks too, if you're interested in cars at all, that's the place to go because they want to talk about their cars, don't they?
They do, and we get not only the participants themselves and folks who drive their cars that may not enter the show just to go and look and
Right.
get ideas, but we've got a lot of members of the community that come out to see it and wonder what the buzz is about, and they really get involved when they get there. So it's really exciting.
Dave, what all are you expecting from the state police to be out there that day?
Well, we will have the bomb squad will be out there, which I know is near and dear to your heart because of your past involvement. We will also have our motor units will be out there. We will have scuba. We will have our canine. So all of those will be there, opportunity to interact. And, you know, it's fun for the troopers that come out there and do this, and it's fun for the public because usually the time to chit-chat with a state police officer is not after he's pulled you over.
Yeah,
It's more fun to do it
along the
where-
side of a car on 465 is not the time to talk, is it?
Exactly. So it's a lot more fun to do it when it's a sociable event, and it's good for people to see we are people too, and we have families. We are interested in the same things that most other people are, providing for our families, going to work on our shift and coming home at the end of the shift.
Well, I think there's some guys that has anybody brought out their cars? Are you going to be taking your car this year?
I will take my car out there this year. I've had it out there each year. I've been the first registrant each year, haven't I?
Every year. I was just going to say he was the first registrant this year. So
I have my first car that when I got my
First
driver's
police car? Is that what you're taking back?
No, not taking that back. My first police car when I had a driver's license. There, you got me all screwed up now. But I have a 1970 Plymouth Duster that I had in high school, and I could never bring myself to sell it. And I take it out every summer, and maybe put 500 or 600 miles on it.
So is this is a driver then? This is
It's
coming
a
in on
driver, and it never wins an award because it is a driver, and it's
it has patina.
yeah, that's exactly right. It's got a lot of patina. Some of it flakes off. So,
Have you had any other officers out there? IMPD, ISD?
actually, Joe Dixon, who is a classmate of mine from the state police, he has won. I think on 2 different classes he's won out there, and the judging is independent, so the judges have no idea that he's there. I think Joe will be there again this year with his car.
Is it a Camaro?
I was thinking it was this horrible. It's a Chevrolet product. Now my mind has gone blank what it is.
I was thinking it was a Camaro that I'd seen. It's a very nice car.
Yes.
I think you're right.
I think you're right.
Very, very nice car. So
lot of
hopefully we
fun.
can get some other officers that are, if they're involved in their cars, bringing them in.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be, it can be rat rods, anything, right?
It can be anything. Yeah, the whole idea is for creativity, an outlet, a way to show to other people, talk to other people, get ideas. As much as anything, it's just fun.
Yeah.
So,
And to raise money.
And to
For
raise
this
money.
very, very worthy cause.
And it is a lot of fun, especially you have some of the kids, teenagers that are coming out there with their families. They come out there and look at the cars, and they have it's hard to explain to them. You had to roll the window up. You actually had to roll the window up. You had to push the buttons here.
8-track tape player. What in the world is that thing in there? Yeah, exactly. So that I'm sure that is bringing back memories. And when they got the food tray hanging on the side of the car, so what are you doing there? What was that time?
Or the other thing I was trying to explain to one of the kids last year was the side panel windows in the front.
Right.
You know what I'm talking about?
Oh,
Vent windows.
The vent windows, yes.
The wings,
Yeah, they
Those
were
aren't in there
fascinated
anymore, are
with
they?
those. They
Yeah.
had no idea what they were.
that's the equivalent of air conditioning.
Exactly. That was your 55-mile-an-hour air conditioning.
Absolutely.
Well, we're down to the last 55 seconds. Give us a date and times again.
June 17th. Arrive there at 751 North Shadeland at 7 in the morning, on up to 11 if you want your car judged. And at 12 noon, we forgot to mention, at 12 noon, we're going to be awarding the scholarships for the students that are going to college. So that's a highlight of the event.
Great. Okay, good deal. Carolyn, Bob, Dave, thank you so much for
Thank
coming
you.
in.
Appreciate
it.
Rich.
Good luck. Praying for good weather.
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Going to have good weather this year. Again, you've been listening to the Indiana State Police Roadshow, brought to you by the Indiana State Police Alliance. Cops for Kids, a subsidiary of the Indiana State Police Alliance. Tom Trial putting us on the YouTube site each and every week, so make sure you go there. You can view the show at your leisure. Thanks for listening to the Indiana State Police Roadshow. We'll catch you again next week. Be careful out there. The Roadshow is out.